What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. As patch 421 is fleshed out, it's worth updating my list of overpowered champions for each role, especially since the meta has changed so drastically from the last patch. Let's get started. For top lane, we have Aurelia. In patch 421, the meta has leaned quite heavily towards dive comps and initiation based comps, and Aurelia is phenomenal in doing that. She's phenomenal at jumping in and diving on a target, all while sticking on them and being difficult to kite. If an Aurelia gets really fed, you can solo out multiple opponents if you aren't getting chain crowd controlled, and Aurelia has really stepped up as the prime bruiser in a meta where bruisers are dominating. Her crowd control and tenacity make it easy to dive in and assassinate targets, while her tankiness allows her to stay alive and be very difficult to duel. She can even be a fairly strong initiator too. Her laning phase is also not bad either, and her kit does a great job of working with junglers to help ganks. Not to mention her true damage also allows her to beat out other bruisers in skirmishes. Overall, Aurelia has a strong, well-rounded kit and does a great job of being a bruiser, both in lane and out of lane. For mid lane, we have Katarina. Now, Katarina is somewhat of a mechanically challenging champion to pick up, but once you get the hang of her, she's an incredibly strong champion in this patch. Her laning phase is quite solid since she has fantastic mobility and some reasonable poke too. She can dodge skill shots in lane with ease, so it's not too hard to come out on top. As for her team fights in skirmishes, well, they're absolutely fantastic. The meta has shifted to become quite dive heavy, and when her team is able to help her dive in and get those much needed resets, it just becomes a steamroll once you get the snowball rolling. Just be sure to watch out for crowd control and to use your ultimate at the right time. But either way, her teamfights, not to mention her roams as well, are really just amazing due to the raw speed that her kit has as well as the massive damage. And this is a meta where Katarina has really begun to shine. For jungle, we have Rek'Sai. Now, although Rek'Sai has a somewhat high ban rate, which might make her hard to get in your games, she is about the closest thing it gets to Freelo in a champion right now. Her current kit is honestly just flat out overpowered, and with the highest ban rate and win rate in the game, I can almost guarantee that she's going to be nerfed in the next patch. Her strong early game, phenomenal mobility, sustained, great clear speeds, high damage, and fairly tanky kit just wraps up this jack of all trades to be a powerhouse champion throughout all phases of the game. Her damage is fantastic, so she really excels in this dive heavy meta as well. Not to mention the fact that she can pressure the map so heavily, especially before level 6, which makes her a great pick for solo queue. For AD carry, we have Graves. Graves' burst is actually phenomenal when it comes to picking off targets in teamfights, as well as in lane too, as well as his tankiness and escape helps him quite a bit. And let's not forget the fantastic ability for kiting that is his smokescreen, which can actually do a great job of completely shutting down dive attempts by stalling a target long enough for your team to crowd control them and then peel for you. But the true strength of Graves is in his lane. Graves is the strongest AD carry in lane in almost all matchups in the meta right now, and he only loses to champions that aren't really played that often. A big part of this is actually due to the meta shifting towards utility-based, squishy supports, which often end up being an easy target for Graves to burst down with some crowd control. In addition, his kit and high base damage allows him to go for a bit more freedom in your item pass, whereas other AD carries might be forced into 3 specific items before being able to adapt their builds to anything in the game. Overall, Graves' fantastic lane and great team fighting, while being very strong throughout the entire game, has made him a prime pick in this meta. For support, we have Janna. What better champion to be the best on support than the one that completely counters the dive-based meta that we're experiencing right now? Janna can peel pretty much any target in the game with her fantastic counter to anyone who dives in, being her ultimate. Not to mention her passive and ability to manipulate movement speed as well as having a knock-up comboed with the support active items makes her by far the best kiter in the game. And in a dive-focused, assassin-heavy meta, it doesn't really get much better than that as far as support goes. Her lane isn't the best, but it's definitely good enough to where you can still win with solid play, and since her lane is very safe, that's not really an issue at all. And all in all, Janna's a fantastic support pick in this meta. And that just about wraps it up. My name is Jeremy, and that's it for my video on the Overpowered champions in patch 421. Be sure to check me out over at twitch.tv/Jeremy_gamingcurios. Stay connected at facebook.com/gamingcurios, tweet me at gamingcurios, drop a like, share this video, and make sure to subscribe for some more awesome content in the future. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.